to the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It is so good to be back, you guys. I am so excited.
Oh man, this song really takes me back.
I know, right?
Way too far back.
Got me feeling all nostalgic from my high school days.
It was
I
high
watched
school.
This show
Yeah.
on my iPod Classic. I'm covering my face because I haven't been on camera before. Yeah.
Wow.
Crowded around an iPod Classic with the headphones turned all the way up to watch this show.
I was introduced when one of my friends bought the DVD of season 1 at GameStop.
I have that DVD still.
Yeah.
My older brother introduced this to me after he went off to college, and now it's the reason why I casually swear all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Influences. All right, welcome back to the AfterBuzz TV Red vs. Blue After Show. We are covering season 14. There have been 14 seasons, you guys. Episodes 1 through 4. Room 0/0 Rooms, From Stumbled Beginnings, 50 Shades of Red, and Why They're Here. I have to say I love Why They're Here as a title. It just makes me happy.
It's so good.
Semper Fi, etc. With me tonight, I have Mark Donica.
First time actually appearing on a Red vs. Blue show.
Yay!
Very happy to be. The times are finally working out to where I can be on the show. This show that goes way back in the history of web video for me, and
Yeah, no, and you did such a good job engineering, but we always wanted you in the room, so this is really nice.
I mean, this Bow Chicka Bow Wow shirt I bought from Gus at their first Comic-Con appearance.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've taken care of this because they will never sell it again.
Aww.
I mean, they redid it and it looked awful. So
I know.
Yeah, no,
the
I've
classic one still got the sparkles.
I've got the old
sparkles
one
and
too.
stuff,
I've
yeah.
got the old one too.
I've managed to get a hold of a That's Right, I'm a Gay Robot shirt at RTX a couple years ago, and it's just like preserved.
Good get.
Where can the people find you on the internets?
Find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica, as well as I'm one of the people who regularly troll the ABTV Rooster Team Twitter account. We put up polls every now and again. It's a lot of fun stuff.
Of course, the wonderful Megan Salinas.
Hey guys, you can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
You're going to be hard-pressed to find a Rooster Teeth show without the both of us on it. Let's
Pretty
be
much.
real. And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. We are checking our hashtag. It is ABTVRVB because we cannot get enough of alphabet soup here on this network. And we also have the live chat pulled up. So if you have any questions, if you have anything fun to say, put them in the hashtag, put them in the live chat. You may well get a shout out. You may have noticed there was no guest announcement for this. Our booking policies for this show have changed, so bear with us. We will see what we can do. In the meantime, what did you guys think of these episodes?
Beyond excited that we're back in Halo 1 for the first part, and even more so than that the short that they used for the Halo Legacy collection years ago, they brought it into canon. It hasn't been online legally for ever since its release.
You had to get a DVD with it on it as a special feature.
I remember seeing this at that Comic-Con.
You were there?
I mean, not for the debut, but they played it like ad nauseum at the booth.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that this is canon now, I saw some fans complaining that they're like, oh, they just recycled an old episode. But the fact that they brought it back in and they made it church re-engaging, trying to find certain parts of his memory, beyond worked for me. Absolutely loved it.
I love that they made it an Epsilon iteration. I thought that was super creative. We had 2 different studios doing the animation, so whoever they got from the second studio matched the animation of the first part perfectly, and that animation is a decade old. Around.
Oh, God, don't say that.
I don't want to think about that, but I think you're right.
It's been around for a while, you guys. Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool to see them find a way to incorporate that, especially given that this season is going to be all anthology stuff.
Yes.
It was nice to see a one-shot incorporated into, as you said, official canon. And it was such a fun one-shot. I was not expecting to get hit with feels at the end of it either. So I understand for the people who were kind of disappointed, because at first I was like, oh, I guess they're just putting this up for everybody who hasn't gotten a chance to see it yet. But then just that little bit that they tacked on, I was like, oh, my heart.
And you can see this week, Megan and I do reaction videos for this. You can see us kind of go, oh yeah, there's this, and you're quoting the whole thing because you know it backwards and forwards. And then we're like, this is new. Oh God, my feelings. The musical cues when they were showing the unit and panning out, just Epsilon talking to himself. Well, we're going to kill Caboose next time. Is that going to help? It'll make me feel better.
Yeah, no, and I love that they eventually ended up incorporating animation into regular Red versus Blue episodes, but there was always a part of me that was kind of disappointed that we never got more of this, the 2D animated format. And so seeing this as a return to form, I was like, oh, yay. Just because I would watch an entire movie or an entire season animated like that because it just looked so good.
And I also like the tease that we had at the end of all the different styles that we're going to be seeing moving forward.
Yes. Sit me down for 95 minutes of this animation. I swear I am in for a movie. I think we can talk about the different styles and whatnot when we get into predictions. Because predictions are going to be fun and interesting because, hey, they could be anything.
Space is a big, real big place.
And I love that the titles for this was Room 0/0 Rooms, because Room 0 is that first part that we've known and loved for a while. And then 0 Rooms is that second part where it's Miles picking up where Bernie left off and writing that next bit. And I thought that was I really liked that.
And it's weird how Bernie can just go right back into Church. And not be take the years off and sound like Church from season 1.
I feel like that's just something that doesn't ever leave him. It's so close to his normal voice, and I feel like that's something that's so easy for him to get into that he just, all right, we need the Church voice, let's go.
I remember listening to one of the DVD commentaries, back original Blood Gulch, and a couple of the guys were talking about how they get into character, and I'm pretty sure that at the time Bernie was oh God, or oh Caboose.
Yeah, it was something that was like, God damn it, Caboose, or something like that.
Something along those lines. It was, and so it was probably just few runs of that and it's like, all right back into it.
Yeah, in the same way that Joel gets into character just saying Church's name a lot. Church. Yes, that yeah. Do we have any more thoughts on this first episode? Because it was a nice little standalone and it kind of just worked on its own and said, this is what we're working with. We're taking old things, we're reworking them with new things, we're looking at the past. Do we have any final thoughts on this animated episode?
Just that I love the subtle details, and I could go on and on about how much I liked the animation style in this, but they made Griff a little bigger than the other characters.
That's what chat's saying.
Yeah.
Griff.
Yeah, they made Griff a little bigger. All of the lighting was really great, and again, really good. I just wasn't expecting those emotional beats to be hit. So
the soundtrack will always get me. That just I can't with my feels.
The emotions.
My emotions.
So many.
All right, let's move on to our other 3 episodes because they are definitely a trilogy. We have From Stumbled Beginnings. We have 50 Shades of Red, which is a title I still kind of choke on, not gonna lie. And we have Why We're Here. So our first bit is our introduction to Griff and Simmons and a private named Hammer, who, looking at the credits, was voiced by Blaine.
Not surprised.
I thought was hysterical. Oh, super. That was just yep, that would be a Blaine character. So we have boot camp and we have Griff and Simmons causing trouble because Simmons has a horrible fear of heights and refuses to cross the bridge. And Griff is just like, I'm going to stay here. This works for me.
He has a fear of effort, seemingly.
He has a fear of everything. Let's be real.
I'm allergic to work. But yeah, no, it was really cool getting to take a step back into the past, going back before there were Reds and the official Red and Blue teams, seeing how each of the team members were selected, because we know from Agent Washington how they were selected by not being the brightest
poor
bulbs.
test scores.
Yeah, but it's a completely different thing to see all these different characters come together for the first time, and seeing these two, it's just always so funny.
These two are such a blast, just watching them go. And let's never mind dividing this up by episode. Let's just talk about this as a whole. Mm-hmm. Them meeting Sarge and Griff immediately throwing Simmons under the bus more than once.
Kind of just sets the tone for their entire relationship,
doesn't it? It really does.
Well, even just the one line of, I think we're going to get along just fine, Private.
Yes!
It's like, what? Then when did the turn happen? That's what I really want to see, is if we're at this point before we even get to Blood Gulch, what is it like on the way there, on the transport there, where it just goes, oh crap, I'm in for it.
At what point did Sarge realize what kind of insubordinate soldier he had?
Well, they were in Blood Gulch at the time for this, and Sarge is so set in his ways, I feel like it would have to be something big. I have no idea what, but I feel like it would have to be. Yeah, people chat in the hashtag. What do you think was the tipping point between we're going to get along, Griff, and I'm going to shoot you, Griff?
I was gonna say it was probably something about food, but then no, the whole rations bit made perfect sense.
Honestly, I could easily see it being 5 minutes after this conversation.
Yeah, probably.
I could, like, given how quickly we saw Tucker and Church get on to their respective, get into the first stage of their relationship, which was just, I hate you.
I don't
probably
like you
would not have taken
I
so
hate
long.
you the least.
Exactly.
I like that sniper rifle. Do you think next time we come out here, I can get one of those? I will say, though, at the end of the first episode of this trilogy, seeing Florida at the end, seeing Captain Flowers make an appearance, just like, he's the whole thing, like, not just watching over it, but he orchestrated the entirety of it.
He
was his
handpicked
mission.
everybody, and he was just pleased as punched that he got picked.
I feel like the writing was kind of interesting for him. It was a lot more sinister than I remembered, but then again, we didn't get much of Flowers to begin with, because sadly, he didn't have a lot to say during season 10, I believe, and that was kind of sad.
Well, I heard, and granted, this is... I don't
Old
have
gossip.
anything. I don't have anything to back this up, but I heard it was very difficult to write for Flowers because he is just. Before you found out that he was a freelancer and everything like that, like, he was just this very happy, cheery, guy. So it was kind of difficult to write for when you're in a canyon filled with horrible cynics who are awful to each other.
I don't know. I feel like he didn't have an edge when we saw him. And again, this is before we knew he was a freelancer. And now it's like everything is just this thinly veiled, awful, yes, I'm completely in charge
Well,
here.
again, that's what happens when you're retroactively adding plot.
That's true.
But then now I want to see his training specifically to see if he was. Let's make him the strong personality that's just a charming disarmer that makes him go that extra bit where he has that assassin in him. Where now we're starting to see that sort of show
Like,
in
at some
the
point,
dialogue.
somebody had to take him aside and be like, "You got to dial back on the evil a little bit, buddy."
It almost getting into crap. Never mind. Forget that I said anything. But I will. I do like how we got the setup for the joke in season 1 about the caution when wet
Yes.
thing that came from Command. Of all the jokes to be set up, the last one that I expected.
I am so, and that came down twice in episode 4. One with, oh, you fell on a wet floor and hit your head, and the other with, oh, Vic's an AI. Oh, Vic's a corrupt AI. Oh, that's how. Why did you not tape that cord down? Like, that is what I'm stuck on. You have this whole big military installation that you set up. You have all these underground computers, and you have one extension cord that is not in any capacity taped down. There's no rug put over it. There's no nothing. Like, community theaters with no budget are better at this than this military installation. Then again, it's Freelancer, and Freelancer is a big old terrain wreck.
Yeah, we don't. They just need a really good stage manager, and then everything will be just right in order.
Yeah. Like, there should have been a See, that's the thing. That's a PA's job. It's not a freelancer's job. It's a PA's
Not my job. If Vic was real, he probably would have been really seriously reprimanded for it, but no. Really quick from chat, RVP Descriptive Audio says, Blue Base had 2 robot kits, Red only had 1. I suspect Griff is to blame for that disparity. That would be enough to make Sarge homicidal.
That's a very good point.
You know what? Fair enough. That's a fair assessment.
And with a malfunctioning language thing.
Headcanon accepted.
Buenos dias.
It is law.
Boom. Done. All right. Wait.
Oh God! Prediction. Remind me predictions about
Predictions?
Lopez.
Oh.
Yeah, because you just gave me an amazing idea that I hope we get.
Cool.
All right. We'll put a pin in that for the next 20 minutes.
Thank you.
It's just, I'm not over Hammer. I feel so bad for Hammer. He's trying so hard to be a good CO. He's not. He's trying so hard to be a good CO for these idiots, and he's really not. It's like, you're not the leader you think you are. You two are idiots. All of you go on this very special mission.
I feel bad for literally every normal soldier around these guys because they bring bad luck and misfortune with them everywhere they go. We saw what happened that when they were being flown home, they
Exactly the thing I was going to bring up.
inadvertently caused their ship to crash.
But see, that's the
everyone
thing.
aboard.
They saved their ship from getting annihilated completely with all of their stupid bad luck because
But
it threw
everybody else
off the
died.
tractor beam. Not necessarily. We just never see anyone else.
No, everybody else died.
I will
Okay.
say though, if these are folks that are supposed to be handpicked for this simulation, how much better than our crew can they be? When we saw, especially with all of the Sarges, all of the other folks, that congratulations to everybody.
Buckshot, McGruff, Dagger Knife was my
Dagger
favorite.
Knife.
One
The
of
fact
them
that they
was
use
voiced
McGruff.
by Miles.
Well, one of them was voiced by Jeremy from Achievement Hunter as well.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
that's
they
so
just
funny.
put up a sign saying who has a kind of good
Who's
Sarge
free?
impression.
I'm surprised that they didn't get Shannon McCormick to do one because Shannon has a really good Sarge.
I think that's probably why.
Too
I
good,
was
too
gonna say,
spot on.
Too good of a
Doesn't
Sarge.
Shannon have a really good impression of everybody, though?
I don't know. I know he's got a really good Sarge. It showed up twice. And I'm still not over it. But that's me and my Agent Washington bias. And that has nothing to do with any of these episodes yet.
Oh God.
We just
What will we get from Wash this season?
Prediction
We'll get
areas.
not yet.
We're just,
You stop it.
part of me's like, are we just going to do
Stop saying
predictions
it.
right in the middle?
We'll stop
and
saying
then-
it. I'm sorry.
I think we're giving our engineer a heart attack here. Like, now?
Little
No.
bit.
Now? No. God.
But I think out of all of these episodes, I think that we spent a little bit too little time with the blue team because it was the camera testimonials real world style with all of the possible Tuckers. It was fun having the notepad essentially on the top of the
Listener,
screen.
really good listener. Really, really good listener. I love that the first one was pretty much the perfect soldier. So of course they couldn't take him. Of
course not.
He's too good.
But in that regard, we didn't get anything about Caboose and Donut. I figure they're the next the next team of people that are going to get looked at by Florida. But
Well,
as
no,
much
they
as I
were
love
on the
Reds,
list.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't get them in these
Well,
series of
Florida's
episodes.
dead by the time they both show up.
Florida's dead
Because-
is the reason they show up.
Yeah, which is again, that's when Church appoints him as appoints himself as the leader of Blue Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Church.
Even though he was just a private with a dead captain.
Can we talk about Private Jimmy for a minute? Can we
this
talk
was
about
great.
poor Jimmy? Oh no, it was perfect. It was a really good way to fill these plot holes. And essentially, it's like, let's bring him in. Congratulations, you are now the new host body for an AI. You're done.
Doesn't seem physically possible.
And so what I love is that now all of the memories that Church has about his girlfriend, like Tex stole his wallet once and Tex did this, that was probably all Jimmy's girlfriend. Not good.
No, I mean
Yeah, I
it
don't
could
know.
have been. It could have been Allison. We don't. That's kind of what I'm thinking is that it was Allison and the director that was their relationship, just kind of superimposed.
Because if it
on
was
this
Jimmy's
one, I don't know.
girlfriend, it would totally lose all of the live action stuff that we see with the real Leonard Church earlier. God dang it! Earlier in,
What
in
is
the
time?
series, then that would totally kill any sort of the actual dramatic tension that we have with Church and Leonard.
Well,
there-
he's probably mixing up his memories. I mean, he pulled Jimmy from nowhere, and with the whole beating him to death with his own skull, he's obviously not doing okay.
Well,
so I
and-
wouldn't be surprised if there's leakage.
And I remember again back before with canon and everything like that. At one point, Church remembered that he and Tex were engaged, so there might be just an issue of like memory bleeding over from his from his host body. It's hard to tell. So, but yeah, the thing is that we always knew, given the fact that the body died and was rotting.
There was an actual
because
body.
they didn't bother to bury it. That it had to be an actual body. That it was the AI Alpha inhabiting a soldier. And it was nice to actually get verification on who that was, and to have it be poor Jimmy.
Poor Private Jimmy.
Poor Private Jimmy. It was so great.
I have to say, one of my favorite parts of this episode, and I think of these 4 episodes, is the bit where Church is trying to remember, I saw them fighting, I saw my girlfriend fighting someone in the snow. It was, and Florida just very calmly reloading his pistol, like, well, this might not turn out how I'd hoped. And then, oh, it's Private Jimmy. Yes, of course it was Private Jimmy. Like, oh, good, I don't have to shoot him. Like, just
darkness.
that supremely calm, yep, just in case.
Well, I mean, that's a freelancer for you.
Yeah, I think that's just Florida for you. The guy took an axe to the chest and kept going. I mean, who even knows?
I know this was just a trilogy, or it's presented to us as a trilogy, but do you think with the tease of Florida tripping over the electrical cord that we'll actually see him die in season 14?
I don't think so.
No,
We've
because
already
we
seen
saw
it.
him die in the flashback in season 4.
5? I think it was 5, because then he came back at the end of 5,
4
around
was-
100 time, didn't he?
Well, I'm talking about like the time when Church went back to the past.
Oh, God.
Well,
Yeah, when Gamma spent a good 4 episodes screwing with him.
Although, again, tripping over the cord and malfunctioning Vic, it does explain why Vic would, although granted, I don't know how he had her contact info, why Vic ended up reaching out to Tex as the freelancer to come in.
Who's the
and
next one in
assist.
line?
Yeah, because everything got all scrambled.
I feel like she might have just been watching communications for that and went, oh, they need a freelancer. Hi. And I mean, Vic.
Yeah, Vic.
Vic. But I love that we had, go ahead.
No, it's just really hard. Like we keep like going back to instances and references, and now I'm wondering, like, if that was the case, how did Wyoming and York figure into the coming into the series? Like now I don't want to, but I want to go back and watch everything.
Yeah.
I know,
I don't
right?
have that kind of time.
Yeah.
Just season 3.
The problem with thinking about the fact that this is a simulation is that when you start bringing in those freelancers and people who actually matter in the grand scheme of the war, it's
Wyoming matters.
Why are you even bothering with these dumb simulation troopers that ultimately aren't actually at war with one another?
Because he's the alpha.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it comes
but
back
not
to.
a whole lot of their, very, very little of their actions ever indicate that he was anything of significance like that.
According to chat, Random Chick 51 says the book hints as to why Vic contacted Tex.
And right on top, the Xanordo says in the Red vs. Blue book, the counselor thought that bringing Tex to Blood Gulch would stop her from investigating the project while also protecting the Alpha.
Okay, that makes...
Gotta get that
I'd
book.
buy that.
I have that book. I need to evidently go through it again.
Gotta read that book.
Yeah.
You can get your copy of the Red vs. Blue book wherever books are sold.
Yeah.
Yep.
In all of my spare time, I'll go
Yeah.
through and read that.
Right after
Get
you
all
watch
that.
seasons 1 through 13, just hit up that book.
I will say the first thing I opened it to was the bit on Wash's backstory, and then just kind of
That's why you missed
look
this
at my
little detail.
priorities. Look at my priorities. I have them. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I'm
Now
Yes?
I just want a whole seeing this going back and and having stuff inserted into the story to make sense of all of the freelancer stuff that we've gotten throughout the past couple of seasons. Why couldn't season 14 take place in the first little bit, like more than a trilogy, if the entire season was back in Halo 1, back in Blood Gulch, that
feel
was
like you-
connecting the sinew?
You feel like you would want an entire prequel season?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No?
There's too many holes. There are some things. I feel like there are some things that are better left to interpretation. We have enough clues, but I don't feel like I need everything spelled out for me.
Yeah, I don't need
And
everything spoon-fed to me.
Well, and I am that kind of fan that really likes to theorize and really likes fan fiction and really likes breaking this down with people and saying, what about this? What about that? What about this other thing? That's how I function. You show me a hole in the story, and I'm going to figure out 15 different ways to fill it.
Sure.
As opposed to some fans who see a hole in the story and go, don't touch it. Don't touch it. You'll fall in. It's fine. Just
No,
leave.
I can agree with that, but I think if we were going to operate like that as a fandom, why give us this past trilogy? You know, that's the thing is they've already started to like, here, wouldn't this be nice? Nope, never mind. That's all we're showing.
Well,
you.
and
That's the only thing.
The other thing about it is that, like, for me anyway, I love getting to see this bit of character, all these character origins and this bit of character development from everybody. But at the same time, that would require everybody going back to where they were at the beginning of Blood Gulch. And after 14 years of watching this show, I'm like, no, I like seeing them move forward. As much fun as the Blood Gulch stuff was, if I ever want to relive that, I can just go and rewatch season 1.
Yeah.
Sure, I can see that.
My favorite character wasn't in Blood Gulch. Like I said, massive character
Season
bias.
6 is my favorite, so
8's mine, but yeah, it's one of those things. I don't feel like we need all those little spots filled in. I like having all these different bits in the anthology, and I like that it's, oh, you wanted more of this. Okay, here's a little more, go have fun. Like, we didn't get to see a lot of the freelancers, and that was particularly sad. So I like the idea that hopefully this season we'll be getting more of that. We're having another taste of, hey, remember season 1? Remember how fun and easy and crazy things were then when we didn't worry about an overarching plot? Let's have a little bit of that. Let's have another Epsilon iteration. Let's bring in these different styles. I like that season 14 is a chance for them to be really creative and really branch out and let people who aren't necessarily writers for the series have a chance to take a crack at this.
Sure. No, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. I think it's because we haven't seen something, and I use this term sparingly, fresh yet. We saw a rework of the new of the old short, which I enjoyed, and I like how they reworked. And then we're back in Blood Gulch. We haven't seen the Mega Bloks one yet. We haven't seen the live action one yet.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen any of the other styles yet to really make it go, oh, okay, here's the real different thing. We're still in Rooster Teeth territory, especially with all of the writers, that are all in studio. Which is all great, and it's all fine, and it's all loving it. I think it's just because of where we are at this series right now that's making me go,
we haven't had a fresh perspective yet.
Yeah.
Once we get that, sure. And then the fact that also that we've seen more from Florida in these past 3 episodes than we did in
his entire run in the series.
Exactly. So that's another thing that's like, well, if we got some of this, why don't we get more of that or whatever? But
more freelancers.
Exactly, more freelancers. What was everybody's favorite episode amongst the trilogy?
I really liked the last one just because I liked Jimmy. I liked the way Florida was acting. I liked the bits with Vic, and I just. At some point, I want to talk about this list because I just really, again, this is a list where I really want to be like, what's this? How are they doing this? What's going on with this? And also the Vegas quadrant bit. Oh my God. I
podcast
howled.
Callback.
I gotta say, I really, my favorite was the Sarge episode. Just, I will say that, like, as a self-contained thing, I still liked the first bit. But again, that was from years ago in my mind. So, even though we get it in a different way, I think in terms of like the newer stuff that we got, the Sarge episode was my favorite. And what I also appreciated about these 3 episodes, going back to Blood Gulch, is that it could have been very because a lot of comedies, especially when they've been on for an extended amount of time, that eventually they just become self-referential, like, oh, we're just going to repeat the same catchphrases over and over again, because it's callback humor. Everybody likes callback humor.
Worst such and such ever
Oh,
of all time.
Yeah, these 3 episodes could have very easily just been callback humor after callback humor after callback humor with, like, in a lazy way.
Yeah.
But I feel like all of the callback stuff that we got was really well executed.
And setups for other jokes. Like you said, the wet floor joke was amazing.
That was the thing. They were jokes because we already knew the punchline.
Yeah.
Which is a really smart way to do comedy.
Nothing short of an aspirin overdose will send this mission off course.
Goodness. But I do agree the Sarge episode was my favorite. Just because that.
You have to be the Sargiest Sarge that you... And again, their names are Buckshot and Dagger Knife, and I felt like I was watching Space Mutiny and MST3K with Butch Hard Cheese and just
I would have
stuff like
loved
that.
to see
Big McLarge,
Sarge
Big McLarge huge.
and Dagger Knife go off on adventures together.
I would like to see that stop and then them go, you know what? This sucks. Why don't we all get in a ship and just go on adventures? And then it's a completely different timeline. But the last confrontation where it's like, I'd kill myself for this effort. I don't think you can do it. And
Talk is cheap.
And he's like, well, he's the right man for the job. I'll be on my way. Thank you. Like that.
Thought he'd call my bluff.
Perfect. absolute perfection.
Yeah.
And it made me want to hear more of Matt Hullum reading 50 Shades of Grey. But that's just me.
Oh my God.
Maybe not just me.
I really enjoyed it. It was absolutely, completely insane, and it was so much fun. If you're a Sarge fan, like, this is your bread and butter. The bit where they were all saying the same thing and jinxing each other, it's just like, yep, triple jinx. All right. Like, I'm not over just the deluge of Sarge.
No one will ever be over the Deluge of Sarge.
Yes, so many Sarges, 400 Sarges.
It's my autobiography, Deluge of Sarge.
The Mark Donica story.
The Mark Donica story.
Mark Donica story. Yeah, I really want to talk about this list because Vic was we had a question in chat asking if Vic was one of the fragments. No, he's a dumb AI.
Well, now he is.
Well, no, but you know the difference. Smart AI is based on a human brain, and a dumb AI is created, and it doesn't have the capability. Oh, for the love of God, they're terminal. I didn't write Halo. Come on.
You did?
No.
I'm sorry.
Good Lord.
Would have been some good monies.
I know. Do you think I'd be living where I do now if I'd written Halo?
Fair play.
No.
That's fair.
No. Yeah, so Vic is a dumb AI who gets incredibly corrupted at this point, which I absolutely adored. I didn't catch on the console what Vic stood for. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Yeah, someone in chat, someone in the hashtag, help us out with that. That would be lovely. Mm-hmm. But he has a list of freelancers in order of competence to replace Florida if anything happens. And we have California, Hawaii, Kansas, Montana, and Oregon. So mostly Pacific stuff, and then ye old Kansas.
Ugh, I would kill for Agent California in this show.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
Oh my gosh, I want it so much. Agent Cali, I want it.
Yes, oh my God, sign me up.
Again, completely biased, just living, having been born and raised in California. I want Agent California.
What's Agent? Let's see a little bit more of Agent California. See why they were chosen for California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want California. I want Hawaii. I really want Montana. I have a soft spot for Montana, but I kind of grew up there, so
there you go.
Well, that makes sense.
I was too young to know better.
Everybody has some regional bias. It's fine.
Mine is just mostly around the Rocky Mountains. But when Vic gets corrupted, it gets replaced with a list of other people. God knows where he pulled it from. And it's Caboose, Donut's sister, someone called Jacob L. Jenkins, and Cornelius Thromwell Andersmith. And I saw a theory, and I think it was Daft Prodigy that came up with this, because Daft is really good at theorizing when it comes to this series, that the... in chat, we have virtual intelligence computer. Thank you. That is super helpful. Wow, my brain just went away.
Daft.
That did not
Theory.
occur. Yeah,
The
Daft
theory.
had a theory that it was pulled from a list of siblings of freelancers. Because they do keep list of next of kin, families, etc. So who knows? They may be related to freelancers.
Or maybe just relatives of people involved in the project, and that would explain why Sister was pulled.
Could be. I don't know. I find that all very intriguing. They're on the Red versus Blue wiki, which is, of dubious reliability.
I mean, it's a wiki.
Yeah, it's a wiki.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yes.
I knew Jenkins struck a chord with me. Jacob J. Jenkins was in one of the fake endings of the Blood Gulch Chronicles when Church woke up and thought it was all a dream. He was in green armor. And that's all I remember. But he was a dream. Now I guess he's actually canon, but supposedly. So yeah, he was a real fake character, but now he's back to being a real fake real character.
But it was just Jenkins, right?
No, I've gone cross-eyed.
It was just Jenkins.
In the wiki, the comment made was that Jenkins was initially recorded as two different characters in the fan wiki, Jacob and Jenkins, and so the thought is that maybe that might be a reference to that particular mix-up.
Was he the one screaming bloody murder?
Bloody murder.
That was Jimmy.
No, because Jimmy got killed, but it was somebody else that was screaming bloody murder.
Are we sure? I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Tucker because it was on Sidewinder.
I'm pretty sure that was Jimmy.
No.
They weren't wearing green armor. I remember that.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, I'm like 90% certain it was Jimmy.
It wasn't Jimmy screaming bloody murder because Jimmy was next to Church at the time. Granted, this is all a fake flashback anyway. So arguing about the canon of a fake flashback, whatever. But yeah,
At which point we all just kind of lie down and cry because what is time in this series?
Basically, what I've learned from these 3 episodes is that I need to go back and rewatch season 1 because it has been too long.
I have the DVD and the Blu-ray. Which do you want to borrow?
I have them, so
Wonderful.
there's absolutely
I think we
no
all
need.
do. And then there's the continual Ander Smith joke, which I don't think anyone will ever be over, and it's glorious.
No, it was a good callback, throwback, push forward.
How many Ander Smiths are there in the galaxy?
It's this galaxy's Bort.
I don't understand that reference.
No, Simpsons? When they're at the theme park and Bart's looking for a
right.
keychain for Bart.
Come along, Bort.
Yeah, and then he sees all the Bort ones are gone. It's like, who's Bort? And then it's everywhere. Yes, hello, excuse me? So yeah, that was that joke.
Okay, Unit Omega in chat says Jimmy died last, and Random Chick 51 says Jenkins was only in the alternate
I will
ending.
take
He wasn't
your
in the
guys'
flashback.
word for it.
Well, they have Google at their fingertips, and we're just pulling off of what we can remember. So,
Yeah, I do not trust my
Yes.
brain. But yeah, no, this was great.
all right. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about these episodes?
Just that it was really nice to take a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, going back into actual Halo 1 and not... I mean, they probably used Master Chief Collection to do it, but the look of Classic probably brought people who haven't been associated with the series back into the fold and go, oh, let's see what's 14 seasons. So yeah, it was nice. It was very nice. It was a very good thing.
I was talking about Red versus Blue to someone today, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I used to watch that," and I'm like, "Yeah, they're on season 14."
It's still
What? It just wigs people out so much. It is absolutely hilarious to me.
Longest running web series, I believe.
I'm pretty sure it is. And
Definitely longest running animated web series.
one of the first machinima out there as well. Yeah. So, chat, if there's anything else you want us to talk about, now is a good time to say it. We've got like a minute and a half delay. For now, I want to talk to you guys about iTunes, because iTunes is how we as an after show stay on the air. If you look us up, if you look up Red versus Blue in the iTunes search, it does pull us up. We're like the 3rd or 4th one down. Yes. Comment, rate, subscribe, leave us a nice little review saying how much you like us and how much you want this podcast to go on, because guys, that's how we could guess. That's how we stay on the air. You let our producers know that, hey, we like these people talking about this crazy web series. We should continue to let these people talk about this crazy web series.
As a producer, I can speak to that. It works.
Yep.
Yay!
Yeah. Straight.
We
yeah,
actually have 2 from last season.
Bring them on.
Yay!
Yeah, 1 left in March and 1 left in May. I love you guys. March is from Ravenhole. Glad to see Red versus Blue here. Was great to hear the after shows for season 13. Looking forward to seeing them returning in season 14. Hey, we're here. Would love to get more episodes. 1 for every episode might be pushing it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk for an hour about a 7-minute long episode. Keep up the good work. And then we have 1 from Brumby13. Great show. I'm super late to your podcast, but I love it all the same. No, you are right on time. You are right on time. So thank you guys so much for reviewing. Obviously, you leave a review, you get a shout out. There is plenty of time to leave a review because for the most part, we are going to be doing episodes every 4 weeks or so. Keep an eye on Twitter, keep an eye on the hashtag. We will definitely keep you guys updated. What does chat have to say?
I saw a really interesting theory from Random Chick 51. There's a really popular theory that Caboose is 479er's sibling.
I've seen that. I love it. I'm down. That she's one of his like 12 or 19 or however many sisters he has.
Oh, 479er.
Yeah.
And it's a good callback to 2. Also, RVB Descriptive Audio says their favorite theory is that Caboose is actually the original freelancer and something went wrong which fried his brain, and that's why he's ridiculously strong.
Aww.
I don't know.
Sure. At this point, we're like, yeah, sure, why not?
Guys, some people are just born stupid.
I don't feel the need to give him a tragic backstory
No,
either.
me neither.
Do we want to do quick predictions before we go into announcement?
We do.
Okay, so let's do quick predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV prediction.
Light show is blue. Blue team.
Blue team rocks,
Blue
man.
team.
I mean, I'm wearing red.
Oh, now it's red.
It's Doc.
You traitor.
Weird.
So, predictions. Donica, you had something you've been sitting on for a bit. Do you remember it?
2 words. Lopez.
La Pesado.
Telenovela.
Heck yes.
And if it could, I know the live
Oh
action
my
one we
God, I want
saw
it.
implied Carolina in the teaser at the end of the first episode. But if we got like a live action where it's just Halo masks over like
Suits with the open chests.
open
and-
chest and
my
chains,
gosh.
and it's all about
With
Lopez.
a telenovela style opening
Totally.
and everything.
Oh my
Saw that on
gosh.
Free Play. We know that they can do it. They've got sets.
God.
That's what I want to see. Considering that production is probably done on season 14,
Yeah.
hopes are pretty high.
We can dream.
We can dream.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that's what I want to see. I'm excited. It looks like Freddie W's. Just because they're good with live action, Freddie W's short
Freddie
is going
Wong's,
to
right?
Freddie Wong
Yeah. Rocket
is
Jump.
going to be about Carolina, and it's going to be live action. So it's going to be
That'd be sweet.
ridiculous action and gunplay like he's known for. And I would wonder what other freelancers, if any, would be in that.
I can honestly, I am looking forward to Ernest Cline's episode, and I've been saying that ever since I saw the trailer. For those of you who don't know, Ernest Cline is a sci-fi author who wrote Ready Player One, which is well worth a read, or if you're an audiobook person, it's well worth a listen. It's narrated by Will Wheaton. It is an extremely good book, and so it's like, what can this man do in 8.5 minutes with these characters? Sign me up, I want it.
For me, there's such a long laundry list of like, and this is less of a prediction and more of like things I want.
Well, let's be real, that's what predictions are going to be this season.
Well, I want that your episode to be all about Andy the Bomb.
Yeah, it would be so great to have an Andy the Bomb episode. But I have like a laundry list of things I want. I want a 479er episode. I want more freelancer stuff. I would actually really love an episode about people at command who are looking down at the Blood Gulch stuff going, oh my God,
We
this is
really
the
need
worst
a-
job ever.
We really need a shortcut for this caboose guy. Does anyone have how about Control FU? Funny Bob, we're keeping
And
it.
pie in the sky, never gonna happen. But I would absolutely love a short about Spartan 1337. I know, never gonna happen. Again, not a part of the Red versus Blue world, not even canonically a part of the Halo world. But I would love it. I would love it.
It's still a glorious, glorious creation.
I would say even more musical stylings from Donut, but it's an even longer recreation of the entire series so far in 8 minutes,
musical.
and it's a musical.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
All from Donut's
Shut
lyrics.
up and take my money.
What I really want is more from Chorus.
Yeah.
We got so little with the lieutenants after a certain point. It's like, I want Chorus before the war, getting into it, and I want Chorus after the war. I don't necessarily need to know the details of the battle that went down on the ship. Great, fine, whatever. Show me the reparation. Show me everyone trying to get along, even though they still have very different values. Show me Kimball stepping up, despite the fact that she doesn't really have an opposite balance on the Fed side. Show me all of this going down. I want this.
I think if we see that, it'll probably be near the end of the season, just to tease for whatever 15 might be. But I would be down for that too. Maybe a year or two later.
Like as a transition.
As a transition back into what
back
we
into
had,
the linear.
and seeing
and
whatever
that's-
happened at the end of that damn scene at the end of
We're
season
never gonna
13.
see
I
it.
don't want to see
We're never
that.
gonna see
Leave
it.
it open-ended. Just show me who lived.
Fair play. Tara Dustbringer says, Dr. Gray episode. Miles, please.
Yeah.
Also, I have no idea, or I have no clue what to expect from Barb's episode, so that's exciting. Wild card. So
I'm betting that Barb did the Mega Blocks episode.
oh, and hopefully you see her hands like actually doing the. Well, and Joel does, and then they kiss. Or fight, kiss.
Well, and Griffin Simmons' wedding. There.
Perfect.
One
Let's
day
be
they'll
real.
realize
That's
they're
pretty
in
much
love.
canon already.
Yeah. Before we go, since you mentioned that we're essentially doing episodes every 4 weeks, in 4 weeks from now, we'll probably be back from RTX at that point.
Yeah.
No, it'll be right before RTX.
Oh, God.
Well,
we're
as
doing
a
a show before.
FYI for people
Yeah.
who don't know.
Either way, I'm trying to
It's
transition
going to be
into...
like 2 days before RTX.
Yeah, the 29th would be
And
the
then
next
it'll
show.
be the
Okay.
28th, 29th. Yes.
Either way,
So yeah,
Let's start
so
plugging.
we're going to RTX, you guys. Some of us have 2 panels, some of us have 3.
Yep.
AfterBuzz has 2.
yay!
It's going to be a party.
Yep,
We
bring up the
have
exact
2
information.
AfterBuzz sanctioned panels. We have Alphabet Soup, which is our Ruby ABTV panel, because that's what we've been calling it for seasons. And we have an Everything Else panel, which is going to be Red versus Blue and
X-Ray and Vav.
X-Ray and Vav, and anything else we're doing.
Laser
Just
Team,
God
live action
bless.
stuff.
Yeah.
just anything else that we cover as AfterBuzz TV. And in addition, Megan and I are going to be on the RVB Reacts panel on Sunday. So busy schedules all around. Also, I will be at the charity auction.
Yes, so that's Friday, July 1st at 5 p.m. at Meeting Room 4 in the Austin Convention Center is our general Rooster Teeth panel. And then the Alphabet Soup is going to be Saturday, July 2nd, 12 p.m., Meeting Room 16. And then do you remember where your guys' is for the...
Sunday afternoon.
Okay, Sunday afternoon.
It'll happen. There'll be more. It's on the schedule. All that fun stuff. So that is all the time we have for today and then some. So we need to get going. Donica, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. I do a lot of shows here, wrestling related mostly. Let's just because we have to. It's time to roll out. That's why. Also on our sister network, Popcorn Talk, I do the Star Wars show, Jedi Alliance, where we talk about Star Wars. Also, Action Movie Anatomy is a fun one that I'm a part of as well. Video Game Movie Anatomy, we're covering Angry Birds next Monday. It's a lot of fun. Also, follow our group Twitter, ABTV Rooster Team. That's where you can have all of the updates and fun stuff from us, including announcements about if we're doing other after shows for other Rooster Teeth stuff.
Who knows?
Maybe. So that's ABTV Rooster Team and Mark Donica.
Megan.
I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for the movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. Turn is on Tuesdays. Steven Universe is tomorrow at 6 p.m. We do all sorts of fun stuff. If all else fails, we will see you at RTX. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.